Welcome to this Workout Wednesday. My name is Roseanne, and I'll be guiding this full body Pilates class featuring a chair and the box ab series that you see on the Reformer. So we will have that as a feature today. So have a sturdy chair, okay? And I have the legs of my chair, at least two of the legs here, on my grippy mat. Okay, so something where it's not going to slide. If you have kind of rough carpet, that would be okay too. Something where it's going to be really stable. Okay. And then I have a set of weights. You could do this whole workout without them, but a set of weights on either side of the chair legs. And again, you don't need this, but the ball creates some nice connection or block, especially a foam block or pillow. Pillow would work too for the boxed ab series. What it's going to do is prevent keep your pelvis nice and stable with the squeeze of the inner thighs. So the knees don't start rocking, the pelvis doesn't start rocking during the ab series. Anyway, have that if it's available. Okay. And meet me standing. You could stand facing your chair. So that way, if you wobble, you have something to hang on to. Okay. And roll those shoulders. Click those heels together if you'd like the Pilates V, so small V with the feet, hands on hips, bend to straight, tall spine here. So it's very little, very little. Just pressing evenly through the feet, getting our footing. And the arms can lift up and down, up and down, trying to still maintain that tall spine. See if you can really squeeze the thighs toward one another as you rise, and those arms into your sides. Let's do 3, 2, last one. Nice. Feet back to parallel like train tracks. Bend that right knee and make circles from the hip. This is where, if this is too much, you can tip your shape and do your circles here. Okay? Sometimes we practice the class like that. Maybe use your chair for balance. 2 more in this direction. Let's see if we can get the back part of the circle. And reverse, opposite way. Trying to stay as tall as you can. Picking a spot that's not moving to stare at. 4 more. 3, 2. Last circle. And then leg sweeps back and forward knee to chest. Leg sweeps back and knee to chest. Again, if you were tipped, it would look like this. Maybe a flex foot would be nice. Getting more into the glutes. Here, balance, standing. Three more like this. Warming the body. 2. Long, deep breathing. Last one. Step that foot back, round the back heel, lift the arms overhead. From here, come onto the toes of that right foot and bend the elbows in toward your sides. Lengthen as you press the heel down. Again, elbows into sides, come onto heel, press heel down, reach. Continue here. Some nice opening through the back of the lower leg. Warming the arms. Let's do 3, 2. Last one. Nice. Ground the heel, reach the arms. Then see if you can step that right leg further behind you. If you'd like, hands can come to the chair or they can be in prayer at heart center. So here it is with the hands on chair. Left leg lengthens and bends. Lengthens and bends. Okay, hands at heart. Hands can stay overhead too for a challenge. Seeing if that knee can track in alignment with second and third toe. Let's do 5 like this. 4. Keep that back leg long in this variation. 3. 2. Last one. Keep the front knee bent and see if you can reach those arms back and return. Reach them back and return. Let's try a few with the palms facing the earth, open and return. Just exploring the shoulders, drawing the shoulder blades toward one another. Let's do 2 more. Last one, reach back. And hands can come to chair if they need as that right leg lifts just for a moment. And then rise up. Arms can sweep. You may need to step away from your chair here. Hands to your sides. Tumble the head forward. Round through the upper spine. The arms dangle in this variation. Okay. Start to roll down vertebra for vertebra, keeping a knee bend if you need it. Inhale here. Exhale to start to roll up. It's just a reset. Continue to stack. Arms reach. And hands to prayer. Okay, other side. Left leg. Make some circles here. Maybe the hands to the hips or stay in prayer. And again, you can tip your shape. More stability, but still strengthening and balancing. We have about 3 more. Big circles. Still pelvis if we can get it. Final time in this direction. And reverse, opposite way. Back and forward. Circle back and in front. Core is turned on here. Rest your standing leg. 3, 2, last one. Nice, leg sweeps back with a bent knee and hug knee toward chest. Again, leg swings back and draws in. Again, this could be here. One of my favorites could be here. 3. Do the best you can. We have 4, 3, 2. Last one, send that leg back, forward. Then again, lunge it in behind, press the ball of foot down, and then the heel will perhaps ground as the arms reach up. Come onto the ball, the foot lift, the heel. And then ground the heel, elbows into ribs. Come onto toes, reach the arms. And ground the foot, bend the elbows. Continue. Have you noticed your breath going to a natural pattern? What is it doing right now? Just notice. Round 3. 2. Last one, reach and ground. Arms can extend overhead as you step or slide that left leg further behind you. Pitch the body forward. It will be on an angle here from crown to heel. Hands maybe come to the chair if needed. Okay? Or they could stay overhead as you lengthen and bend that lead leg, that right leg. Okay, so take your hands where you will. active back leg just as much as the front one. If the arms are reaching, maybe the upper arms can be by the sides of the ears. Let's do 4, 3, 2. Last one, lengthen, rebend, circle those arms in behind. This time, let's turn the palms in and squeeze them toward one another. Just a little squeeze, 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 as if you had a little ball back there. You're pressing in on it. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the squeeze, open the shoulders, continue to breathe. Lovely. Hands can come to chair as you lift the back leg off for a moment and feet side by side as you circle the arms overhead. Maybe walk away from your chair a little. And hands to prayer. Take that ball out from underneath the chair if you have one, or pillow, okay? Whatever you've got here, and turn so that your booty faces the chair so that it will land on the chair. Hands perhaps to heart center as you sit or almost sit, and then press yourself up, okay? So sit or almost sit. You decide here. Little squats, light if you sit as much as you can. But sometimes if we do know we're allowed to take a light sit, we can go lower than we otherwise would. I like the chair here. Let's do 5, 4, 3, 2. Arms reach back. Last one. Nice. Now have a seat on the edge of the chair. This is why it needs to be a sturdy, sturdy chair. Ground through those feet. Really, really heavy, both feet evenly as you squeeze in on the ball. Maintain now that squeeze. Arms can extend out in front of you as if they're pressing down on a table. Inhale here. Exhale, low spine rounds back, especially low spine. And sit up tall. Round. Being drawn back. Magnetize toward the back of the chair. Deepen the rounding. Let's do 3, 2. Last one. Nice. Arms can reach. Hands press together as we squeeze in on that ball. Hands to prayer. Inhale to rotate one way. Exhale, return. Opposite side. Notice it feels awkward to inhale. There's a reason we're doing that, though, for a upcoming exercise. Let's see how this feels. To rotate your spine, warming it a little more. Let's just do one more. Reach those arms up again. Side bend one way and return opposite side. Trying to keep the feet grounded, the ball squeezed. Opening to the sides of the body. Inhale, reach. Exhale, return. Keeping the pelvis grounded. Let's do one more each way. Working with all movements of the spine here. Last one, all directions. Nice. And now again, hands to prayer. Inhale, rotate toward the left. Exhale, round back. Sit right back up, stack the spine as you inhale and sweep to the other side. Exhale, round back. Inhale, stack the spine. Continue the inhale as you rotate. Exhale, rotate back. Round back. Inhale, stack and sweep to other side. Round back, exhale. Inhale, stack and rotate other side. And check out those knees. Can they stay level? The squeeze, a block or pillow should help with that. Make this work for you. This could be easy or it could be really challenging. If you're using the exhale for the round, you're really allowing the breath to engage through your center. One more each way. That's more of these, yeah. Then we do the others. Last one. Now, roundabout. Inhale, rotate to the left. Exhale, round back. As you continue to exhale, rotate to the right. Inhale, sit up tall. Again, same direction, over to the left. Exhale, round back. Continue the exhale as you rotate to opposite side. Inhale to stack and return to the left-hand side. So round back and lift up. One more in this direction. Nice. And then inhale, rotate right. Exhale, round back. Continue the exhale as you rotate left. Inhale, stack the spine as you revolve again to the right. Round back as you exhale and rotate left. Inhale, stack and sweep around back to the right-hand side. So circles here. Trying to keep level through the pelvis, squeeze in on that pillow or ball, whatever you got there. Two more. Last one. Nice. Arms reach overhead and interlace the hands behind the skull. Press the head into the hands and little baby back bend, upper spine, lips up and over and return. Up and over. Think upper spine here. You can get that tiny movement. It's so good for us, especially if you work at a computer a lot. Use the inhale to come up and over. Exhale, return. Inhale this sense of lift and arc. Let's do two more. Hopefully it feels good in your spine. Last one. And then return to neutral spine, okay? The hands can come in front or they can stay behind the head. But we will have another round where they can be behind head, okay? Lean back just as you are, long, long spine, and then lift. We'll be doing this later on the earth, okay? Lean back and return. Inhale to lean back, pivot from the hips, and lift up. This becomes much more challenging on the ground. And you can see where we're headed. Squeeze that ball. We have 3, 2. Last one. Nice. Press to stand. Turn yourself to face your chair. Take the ball out. Reach it overhead. Inhale. And exhale. Start to round down through the spine till the ball reaches the earth, and roll it underneath that chair, probably kind of far back or even off to the side a little. And bend those knees and have a seat. Legs will come to the, or feet will come to the inside of the chair. Knees are bent here. This is where if you'd like the weights, you can take the weights. Okay, similar to box abs here, okay, with some reverse abs to start. So no weight or weight, hands behind thighs or not. Round through low spine and sit up. Round and sit up. Continue. Try to get that articulation through low spine. We actually want flexion here. We want roundedness at the bottom. Press out on that chair. It's going to help you. Opposite action to what we had before. Pressing out instead of in. And notice how it strengthens things. Let's do 3, 2. The last one. And then stay back there. Stay rounded and rotate left and rotate right. Just a few like this. Pressing out on the chairs, the knees. Stay level. You had drew imaginary line across the kneecaps. Okay, you would see a straight line. Nice. Sit up tall here. And inhale, rotate left. Exhale, round back. And then inhale to stack the spine. Sweep to the right, and then round back. Inhale to stack and sweep left. Round back, exhale. Inhale, stack and sweep right. Exhale, round back. Inhale, stack and sweep left. Let's continue here. What we did in the chair. Let's do one more each side. Nice. We'll return to some other aspects later. Let's round all the way down. Round all the way down. Nice work. Scooch toward the chair. So shift toward it so that the knees can be bent. With the heels on the chair. Knees in line with the hips here. And take those weights and press the ends of the weights into the earth if you have them, or press your hands down into the earth here. See if you can soften or heavy through the shoulders. I find that quite challenging. And then round through low back as you start to lift through the spine, and then roll right back down. Okay, roll up and down. Pressing those heels now into the chair. And use the exhale to help you articulate, to use the core. And press those arms down. Get some work through the backs of the arms. Let's do 4, 3, 2. Can the pelvis land evenly? Last one. Nice. Now, with or without weights, you could leave them down, okay, and reach the arms overhead, or weights can stay in the hands. Exhale to curl here, reach those arms toward the feet, and inhale to lower. The arms don't have to come all the way overhead. They could also come to shoulder height, especially with those weights, or in line with the shoulders rather. Let's do 5. Level the pelvis. 4, 3, curling a little higher and a little more in on yourself. Same time. 2, last one. Nice. Lower yourself back down, circle those arms out to the sides, and then peg the sides of the weights back into the earth. Okay. From here, instead of articulating, lift the pelvis as a unit and just hover. Lift. Ooh, there we go. That's better. And hover and hover. So here we have a pelvic lift. It's practicing here on its own. Now, if you want to add on, lift those arms up as pelvis lifts. Okay. As the pelvis lowers, open the arms. Press the pelvis up as the arms squeeze together. Lower the pelvis partway as the arms open. So it's like this T arms combined with your pelvic lift. Heavy the backs of shoulders caps. 5, Make this work for you. 4, 3. Backs of legs are probably on fire. Good. 2. Last one. Here, you might keep the pelvis lifted or lower it. Split the arms, right arm overhead, left arm toward the toes, and switch. And switch. It's like you're slicing through the air with pelvis lifted or not. Long, deep breathing. Are you still breathing? Some mobility in the shoulders. Lots of work through the rest of the body. Those legs. One more time, even yourself out. And then lower the pelvis if it was lifted. Oh my word, right? Those arms can come back down. Scoot yourself away from the chair. Legs can go nice and long here. You might like that. Reach those arms overhead and then curl. Again, repeat here, perhaps with long legs. Maybe you lighten the heels now, knowing we have 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, curl. Set the weights down. See if you can come higher, higher, higher. And slide the feet off of the chair. Give yourself a hug. And then walk the hands forward toward the chair. Lengthen the legs. Hands to chair halfway lift. And exhale to fold. And then step back with one leg. And then the other into a plank here. Just for a moment, rock on the feet. And then see if you can bend the knees to hover and then lower them onto the earth so you can find your belly. So we can find some extension for a bit. Okay. Set the weights off to the side if they're in your way, maybe a little more forward and out to the sides. Okay. Hands onto that chair, and you can press or push the chair away from you a little bit here. Head is down to start. That right arm and left leg can lift. Slide the hand up the chair and then lower. Let's stay on this side. Lift and lower. Trying to stay level through pelvis and get the height as well as length of leg and arm. 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Nice. Opposite side, that left arm and right leg. Inhale to lift, exhale to lower. You have 5, 4. Get that height, mobility here. 3, 2. The last one, lift and lower. Opposite side, except this time, so that's the right arm, left leg. Lift torso, lift upper spine, and lower. Upper spine lifts and lowers. The leg's going to want to bend, so you can keep it straight. 4, a little higher. 3, a little longer. 2. Last one, pause for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Opposite side, left arm, right leg, as well as the torso arches, extension rather, through upper spine. Okay. Extend through upper spine as you lift and lower to hover. Is the pelvis still even on the earth? Check in. You have 5, 4. Can you lift arm and leg together? I know I find that challenging. Similar time. 3, 2. Last one, lift. Inhale for 5, or breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower all the way back down. Slide those hands closer toward the body. Press yourself up here. Widen the knees. Child's pose only for a moment. And then find tabletop and tuck those toes in this little crouch. Walk yourself closer to your chair. Okay, this little crouch position. Can you place your forearms on the chair? Okay, and step back with the left foot and the right foot. And little rock here. The rock. Pause. Bend the knees a little, and then lengthen the legs. So bend and lengthen. It's like you're trying to suction cup the knees back in with the exhale. The legs lengthen again. Let's do 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Nice. Walk or hop or step those legs into the outside of the chair. Have a seat in a squat. Or sit back in a squat and then have a seat. This time, squeeze those feet in, pardon me, on the outside of the chair. You could take the weights again if you'd like. Take them to the chest if you have. Inhale here and exhale, round back. Just do 3 of these to transition. 2. Last one. Nice. Now, as you inhale, rotate right. Round back. Continue the exhale as you rotate toward the left and stack the spine. Continue the inhale to rotate right. Round back, exhale. Over to opposite side. Stack the spine. So a little circle. Just one more in this direction. Now, as you inhale, rotate left, round back, exhale, rotate over to the right-hand side, then inhale to stack and rotate left again. Make your little circle. We have 3, 2. Sweating now. Last one. Nice. Set those weights down, the legs the way they are. Can you take the hands behind the head or reach them in front, whatever you'd like, to lean back and sit up. Lean back and sit up. Oh my. And do arms in front. Continue here, this little pivot and up, pivot and up. A last pivot. Pause. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And can you pivot back a little further? Until you can't, then round and allow yourself to come down onto your spine. Circle those arms round, feet to the chair once more. Mhm. This time, arms reach overhead, hands interlace behind the skull. Inhale here, and exhale, left elbow toward the right knee, draw it in. And switch sides, right elbow to left knee. And switch. And you continue to switch, and you might lighten the heel if you'd like, or press it down more firmly. You decide how, what you would like to focus on today. Lighten the heels, you'll feel even more into the abs. Heavy the heel, more into the back of the leg. Let's do one more each side. Last one. Nice. Arms overhead. Exhale, see if you can roll up through the spine. Find kind of more of a neutral spine here. Maybe hover. Hover. I'm rocking back. Let's see if you can hover or lift those feet. On the top of teaser here. All right. Let's do 3, 2. Last one. Nice. Slide the feet off of the chair. Hand circle or arm circle in behind the body. Press up through the pelvis. Walk yourself forward to straddle that chair. And lengthen the legs. Forward fold here. Okay. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. From this folded position, we will now take the mat away. Let's take the mat completely away. Bend those knees. You can take those weights into your hands and press yourself up tall. Arms open to the side and return. Open to the side and return. Click those heels together like we did near the beginning of class. Squeeze the legs toward one another. If you'd like, here we can add on. Come onto the balls of the feet as the arms open, and then lower the heels to hover as the arms come into your sides. With control here. Let's do 3, 2. You soften through the neck. Last one. Nice. Hands can arrive at the hips as you bend the knees wide or kind of out to shoulder distance and return. Not too wide, but wider. If you'd like here, add the arms in front. Squeeze those heels, unlike me. Do what you can. Let's do 4, 3, 2. Last one. Nice work. From here, legs back to parallel. Bend those arms. Knees also bend. Take that right foot, come into ball the foot, slide the leg back and return with running arms here. Staying in a nice knee bend in that right leg. Standing leg working. We have 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, stay back there and lengthen up your lunge. I don't quite have too room here, but step back a little bit in your lunge. Arms reach back and return. Reach the arms long and return. You have 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. The last one, lengthen everything out. And then slide that left foot back in and then out to the side and return. So skater to the side and return. Still staying in that standing leg this entire time. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Nice. Come back into that V with the feet, arms reach and return. You could add the heel lift if you'd like. Three, two, last one. Hands to pelvis just to get the legs going. Bend the knees, press up. Arms can come out in front as you bend the knees. Everything comes tall. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Nice. Feet back to parallel. Again, bend those knees and those elbows. And that right leg slides back and returns forward. So arms, running arms here. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. That leg goes back. Might need to slide it further behind. Arms reach. Bend those elbows. Reach the arms back and return. Triceps here. Staying in that front leg. Where's your breath? Where's your breath? 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, reach, reach, reach. Open across the chest. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice work. Slide that right leg in. So you're still in that left leg. Leg goes out to the side and return. Side and return. A little bit on a diagonal here. The leg. We have 5, 4. You sink deeper into that standing leg. 3, 2. Last one. Good work. Let's turn. So the bottom faces the chair. And have a seat. My chair's kind of gotten away from me here. Let's move it more to the center. Have a seat here and take that ball between the thighs. And if you'd like, you can have the weights for this final round of our boxed abs. So round low spine and sit up tall. Round and sit up. If you don't like the weights, arms are in front. Or another way to challenge yourself is hands behind the head. Pressing the head into the hands. It's great for posture, okay? Squeeze the ball. When we're like this. Nice, and right into that twist. Inhale, rotate left. Exhale to roll back and rotate to the right. Inhale, stack the spine and rotate left. Exhale back, rotate right. Inhale, stack and rotate left. One more in this direction. And opposite way. Inhale right, exhale, round back and rotate to the left. Inhale, stack the spine and rotate right. you have a deeper chair than I do, mine's not very deep, but if you do, you can round back further. Last one. Nice. Set those weights down. Arms reach overhead if they weren't. Hands aren't already interlaced behind the skull. Do so now. And extension and return. Extend and return. Let's do 3 more like this. 2. Last one. And return to neutral spine, pivot and sit up. Pivot and sit up. Trying to press the head into the hands and even weight through feet. Do 2 more like this. Final time. Sit up tall, arms circle, palms to the chair, press and release a little. Squeeze and release. You can do the same thing with that ball between thighs. 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, squeeze, pause. Good, and release. Now, hands to the edge of the chair, a little more for triceps. You could leave the ball there if you'd like, or set it aside. Find a lifted position with the hips, roll the shoulders back, and then bend the elbows and press up. Bend and press. Finishing off here, those arms, those triceps. We have 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Press the hips a little higher, and then have a seat on your chair. Remove that ball, heel toe, the feet wider, arms sweep up and fold. Slide those hands over to the right and rotate right. You might open that right arm. Take some breath. And walk those hands over toward the left-hand side and rotate. Return to center, either hands to thighs or hands on earth as you roll up through the spine. Arm circle as you heel toe those legs back to parallel. Okay? Hands to prayer. Flex that right foot. Okay? Lift the knee toward chest and see if you can cross the right ankle over the left shin, with or without use of the hands here. Make it more functional, okay? And then slight lean forward and return. Lean and return. Play with your edge. Once you've found it, you can stay. Stretching through the glutes here. You can soften the upper body. Final inhale and exhale to stack that spine. See if you can lift and uncross that leg. Lengthen the leg out. You may need to scooch further to the edge of your chair here. Okay, that right leg is long. Hands to the opposite thigh as you lean forward. You don't like this, not getting a stretch. Perhaps for some bodies, you could come back to standing. Okay. I did work those hamstrings a lot, so you may want to deepen the stretch, or you may need to stay gentle with the stretch because you may be so tight back of the leg. And sit up nice and tall, slide that heel back in. Flex through that left ankle. Okay. Draw that knee toward chest. Cross the ankle over the opposite thigh. Again, little lean, and come out of it just a few times. And then find where you want to stay. Two more breaths or so. Another inhale. Exhale to sit up tall. See if you can uncross that leg, lengthen the leg out, and lean. Against the opposite thigh if you'd like. Again, you could stand up. Another breath in. And exhale to slide that heel back toward the body. Reach the hands back. This time clasp the chair, roll shoulders back, open hard. Another breath in. And exhale, return to center. Press yourself up to stand. Arms can circle. Side bend over one way. Maybe move through the head. Gaze to the earth, gaze up. Pressing evenly through feet. Return to center, opposite way. Explore the neck. It's safe for you. And return to center and lengthen through the front of the body. And arms can circle, shoulder rolls. And you are finished for today. I hope that you enjoyed this full body Pilates workout. I know I did. If you enjoyed it, there's a playlist called Workout Wednesdays. So you can check that out. I do have some other chair Pilates classes in that playlist. So until next time, take care.